Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-Yo Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Oh, hello, Jim.
The assay report just came in on the state.
Oh?
Listen to this. The samples of ore you sent show a gold content of nearly $5,000 per ton.
Well...
Think of it. Owning one of the richest gold claims in the area.
Well, I'm sure everybody's going to be mighty pleased with your good fortune.
You mean our good fortune? You don't think I'd forget you, do you? Why, if you hadn't carried me on credit, I'd have given up prospecting a long time ago.
Oh, I was only too glad to have the chance to help.
Hey, Jim, that letter you received certainly must have contained good news. I heard your reaction to it across the street in my office.
It was good news, Mr. Carter. Read this.
5,000. Hey, that is wonderful. Congratulations.
Thanks. Mr. Carter.
Yes, Jim?
You're a lawyer. Would you draw up a partnership agreement making Mr. Gilman a half owner in my gold claim?
Oh, no, Jim, you don't have to...
Look, you grub-staked me when I needed it. I can't forget that.
Yeah, but half your claim just for advancing a little credit.
It's only fair. Besides, that's the way I like it.
You certainly are being more than generous, Jim.
I'll start to work on the papers right away. Say, after I've drawn up the partnership agreement, Roger and I could drive out to your cabin tonight and we'd get it all signed.
Oh, I won't be there. I'm going over to the Fosters. I want to tell Miss Foster, about the good news. Would it be possible for you to drop off the papers there?
Well, imagine so. It's all right with Roger. And we'll see you tonight at the Fosters.
I'm sorry to make you come so far out of your way.
Oh, don't mention it, Jim. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
I shouldn't let you do this, Jim, but, well, I guess I'm just not a strong enough person to say no.
I wouldn't do it if I didn't want to. See you tonight.
Bye, Jim. And thanks.
This should be a good place to make camp.
There's plenty of fresh grass for Silver and Scout.
There's a small town a little north of here. While I set up camp, suppose you ride there and get what supplies we need.
Me ride fast.
Come again.
I've finished drawing up the partnership agreement.
Huh? Didn't take you much time. If Jim had stayed around town a little longer, we could have signed the whole thing right here.
Yes, but I've put in a clause in the agreement that I'd like you to see before we see Jim again.
Oh?
Briefly, and in legal terminology, it states that if you or Jim should die, the other receives the entire claim.
Well, do you think Jim will agree to signing anything like that?
I think he might, with your help. Think of it, Roger. If anything should happen to Jim, you'd get the whole thing.
If you think I'd be a party to anything happening to Jim...
I didn't say anything is going to happen to Jim. But if it did, it'd be nice to own the entire claim.
No, I'm not going to talk Jim into signing anything.
You'll do exactly as I say. And you'll persuade Jim to leave this clause in the agreement.
And if I don't?
I'll see you hanged for murder. I imagine the authorities in Santa Fe would like to know where you are. They're still looking for you for that old murder charge. I knew you were the one they were after before you'd been in town 3 weeks.
You kept quiet all this time?
Why not? The reward for turning you in wasn't big enough to tempt me. But now you can pay well for my silence.
What happens to me now?
Nothing, as long as you do what I say. After all, as your silent partner in a rich gold claim, I'd be foolish to turn you in. Now that we understand each other, we'd better get going. We have a long ride ahead of us. My buggy's outside.
Get Kemo Sabe. Get Kemo Sabe. Kemo Sabe.
I wonder what's happened to Tonto. Should have been back by now.
You're being very quiet.
I've been thinking
No? What about?
about myself. You know that man that I killed in Santa Fe? It was really an accident. The mistake I made was in being afraid. Afraid that people wouldn't believe me, so I ran away. Now, because I'm still a coward, I'm doing something I know is wrong.
It's better to be practical than to hang.
What's the matter? He must have hit his head. But we could take him with us to the Foster's place, just over the next ridge.
Hey, it's a fine-looking gun the Indian's carrying. You know, this Indian might even be a killer. A killer with a grudge against Jim Blake.
What are you talking about?
Well, think how convenient it'd be if after the partnership agreement was signed, this Indian should kill Blake. Well, you might even make a heroic effort to save Blake's life and kill the Indian, but just too late.
So, with Jim dead, you could blackmail me into giving every cent that came out of the claim, huh?
Oh, not every cent, perhaps, but a rather substantial percentage.
Now, you're not going to do this to Jim, nor to the Indian.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to turn you over to the sheriff on that old murder charge. You'll do exactly as I say if you don't want to hang, you understand? Now, help me move this Indian over those bushes.
What are you going to do with him?
We'll tie and gag him. Then we're going to frame this Indian for murder.
You know, Miss Foster, the story around town is that Jim here is soon going to be a very rich man.
Well, of course, Sheriff. That's why I'm marrying him.
As you can see, I have a very practical daughter. I'll get it, Ruth.
Evening, Jim. Sorry we're a little late.
That's all right. Come on in.
Morning, Miss Foster. Miss Foster. Sheriff.
Good evening. Excuse my not getting up, but my rheumatism's troubling me a little bit again.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
Well, just having a little celebration, cake and coffee. Won't you join us?
Well, thank you. I didn't expect to see you here, Sheriff.
I was just leaving. I stopped by on my way to the Moore Ranch to offer my congratulations here to Jim.
Must you go, Sheriff?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I must be going.
Oh, thanks again, Sheriff, for dropping by and giving your congratulations.
You two deserve the best in the world. Good night. Good night, Mr. Foster. Mr. Gilman.
Good night, Sheriff.
Oh, Jim, I have the partnership agreements all made out for you and Roger to sign. Would you care to look at them?
Oh, thank you.
Scout, where's Tonto? Easy, boy, easy. Looks of that bruise, you've taken quite a fall. Has something happened to Tonto? All right, Scout, we'll get Silver and find Tonto. Come on, boy.
Everything seems fine, Mr. Carter, except this part that says that if either Mr. Gilman or I die, the other gets the entire claim.
Well, a clause like that's usually included in all partnership agreements, and since you didn't specify otherwise, I put it in.
But I was thinking of Ruth. She and I were planning on getting married in the near future.
Yes, I had heard such a rumor.
And since I don't have any family, if anything should happen to me, I'd like for Ruth to have my share of the claim.
I can certainly understand that, Jim.
Well, we could change the agreement, Jim.
Yes, we could. I have only one thing to say. I'd certainly hate to have to strike that clause out. Try to look at it this way, Jim. If anything should happen to you or Roger, with this paragraph in, business could go along as usual without interruption until the new owners or partners could agree on how to manage the property.
Well, I can understand that, but I was thinking of Ruth.
Well, of course you were. Oh, there's a very simple solution. Tomorrow morning, I'll draw up a second agreement called a rider, stating that if anything happens to you, Jim, half the profits from the claim will go to Ruth. Now, how's that sound?
That sounds fine, Mr. Carter.
Well, Roger, it looks as if you've made a trip out here for nothing, and we'll have to come again tomorrow. I'm sorry.
I feel guilty about causing you so much trouble.
Ah, forget it, Jim. Say, I have an idea. You and Roger could sign the agreement papers now. Then after I draw up the other papers, I'll have Roger sign them, and I'll bring them out here for your signature. Then Roger wouldn't have to leave his store and make a second trip.
Well,
I can get them here by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. You couldn't ask for any faster service than that.
I guess not.
And I'll leave the signed agreement papers here with you and pick up Roger's copy when I come out with the writer's agreement tomorrow. That'll close the whole deal. How does that sound, Jim?
Well, all right, Mr. Carter. Where do I sign?
Right here on this line. Roger will put his signature underneath. Miss Foster and Mr. Foster will act as witnesses and make the whole thing legal.
Right now. Don't make a play for your guns. Now, get down off that horse. Slow like.
Is that a badge of a sheriff or a deputy?
I'm Sheriff Dawson. Now drop those guns.
I've done nothing wrong.
I'm putting you under arrest.
Do you usually arrest people without cause?
That mask is cause enough. Where'd you get that horse?
I'm looking for a friend of mine. I believe his horse stumbled. My friend was hurt by the fall.
We'll talk more about that later, after I've seen your face.
This mask will stay on.
We'll see about that.
Sorry I had to do that, Sheriff, but I don't have time to argue with you. Right now, you're coming with me. I'll return your gun when we part company. Now, turn around.
Looks like I don't have much choice.
Just keep your hands high until I get mounted.
Thanks again for the refreshments, Miss Foster, and I do hope your father's up and about again soon.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to have caused you so much trouble.
Oh, I got it, Jim. It's all in a day's work. Now, good night, Miss Foster.
Good night.
Good night, Jim.
Good night.
Night.
Let the Indian go?
Of course not. We're going to take him back to the Foster place. Give me a hand getting him in the buggy. This is as close as we'll go to the Foster place. The Indian's conscious now. We can go the rest of the way on foot. I'll loosen the ropes around his legs enough so he can walk.
The sheriff is sure to suspect us. Especially with a partnership agreement saying I'm to get everything.
What can he accuse us of? When Foster and his daughter say it was the Indian who killed Jim, they'll be our star witnesses.
How are you going to get him to say that?
Very simple. I'll go back to the Foster's place. Now, when I'm inside, you bring the Indian around to one of the windows. I'll cough once. That'll be a signal for you to get ready. Then when I cough again, you shoot Jim. I'll point toward the window. And they'll see the Indian just before you pull him aside and shoot him yourself. It's very easy.
They'll see the gag in his mouth.
You've got a handkerchief. Put it over the lower half of his face.
Why should I be the one to do the shooting?
Because they can only hang you once. Now, after you've shot Jim and the Indian, cut the ropes off the Indian and put them in your pocket. And don't forget to take the gag out of his mouth. Now, here's the Indian's gun. Use it to shoot Jim, and then kill the Indian with your own. In the confusion, I'll grab one of the signed partnership papers so you'll have a copy.
What about the Fosters? Won't they say something about the partnership agreement being missing? And won't they say something to the sheriff about the other agreement you were going to draw up with Jim, giving half the claim to Ruth?
We'll deny anything they say. It'll be their word against the signed paper. Remember, when I cough once, you get ready. Then on the second cough, you shoot Blake. Now, you and the Indian better get started.
I believe my friend fell from his horse here.
Well, I don't see him.
There are also tracks of a wagon or carriage. And 2 other men. The men dragged my friend over toward that clump of brush. Something curious about these tracks. The wagon stopped here, and then they moved my friend over to this point.
So?
Well, from the footprints, they left my friend here and drove back in the wagon.
Well, then your friend should still be around.
Well, that's a strange part of it. The wagon came back. You can see where the original tracks have been crossed over.
Yeah.
And when the men came back here, they helped my friend in the wagon, turned it around, and drove back in the same direction from which they came.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. Why didn't the men take your friend with them in the first place?
That's what I'd like to know. Tell me, Sheriff, earlier this evening, did you see anyone driving a light wagon or carriage?
No. Hey, wait a minute. John Carter drove his buggy to the Fosters tonight, so he'd come along this road.
Who is this John Carter?
Well, he's a lawyer with about as much ethics as a skunk. If there's a shady deal on, he's mixed up in it.
In that case, we'd better try and follow those tracks.
Mister, would you give me back my 6-gun?
Won't that put us back where we started?
Well, when we started, I was against you, and now I'm with you.
Oh?
And if Carter's pulling something, I'd like to have my gun handy.
All right, Sheriff.
Thanks. Oh, come on. We got a lot of fast tracking to do.
Guess I'll turn in. Can't seem to stay up as late as you young folks anymore.
Good night, Dad.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Foster.
Good night.
Wonder who that could be.
Oh, Jim, I'm glad you're still here. May I come in?
Of course. Where's Mr. Gilman?
He's outside, standing guard.
Standing guard.
Is something wrong, Mr. Carter?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Jim, have you ever made an enemy of a redskin?
An Indian? Not that I know of.
Now, think hard. There must be some reason for an Indian to have a grudge against you.
Well, I've never had anything to do with an Indian. What seems to be the trouble?
Well, on our way back to town, Roger and I were held up by an Indian. Before he'd let us go, he demanded to know where you lived.
Me?
Yes, he even asked for you by name, Jim Blake.
What did you tell him?
Oh, we told him we didn't even know Jim. But the Indian seemed to know he lived near here, so we thought we'd come back and warn you. He might even have followed us here.
Is that the buggy you were talking about?
Sure is. They must have taken your friend inside.
Sheriff, there's a man standing over there near the window.
There's 2 of them.
One of them is my friend Tonto.
Wonder what they're doing there.
Let's leave the horses here and find out.
It must all be some mistake. Oh, perhaps there's another Jim Blake.
Yes, that's possible. Excuse me. Well, I'd better be getting back to town if I'm going to report that holdup to the sheriff.
Don't make a sound.
What is it, Jim?
I thought I heard something outside.
Yeah, it's probably just my horse.
Are you all right, Mr. Carter?
Yes, of course.
An Indian?
You not touch gun.
You're making a big mistake, Indian.
Oh, please let us explain it.
Me not hurt you. Me come for him.
Oh, don't shoot. Listen to me. Gillen, where are you?
Him not able to help you.
No, look. Shoot him. That's Jim Blake. Shoot him. I'll make it right with you. I'll pay you. I'll pay you well.
Mr. Carter, what are you saying?
You not talk. You want him dead. How much you pay?
I'll give you a share of his gold claim.
How can you give any of the claim? You don't own any of it. Wait a minute. That's why you wanted that clause left in the agreement.
Listen to me. Shoot him, Indian. Shoot him.
He won't shoot anyone.
A masked man.
Don't let this mass fight you, miss. I'm not an outlaw. Good work, Tonto. You played it just right.
All right, Carter, you're under arrest. I got proof enough to put you behind bars for a long time.
All right, Sheriff, I'll...
Yep, yet. Drop your guns, all of you, or I'll blow a hole through Jim.
We better do as he says.
Now, it's going to be so easy to kill all of you.
You can't mean that, Carter. You don't know what it's like to know you've killed a man. You can never erase the memory.
My conscience won't bother me. I'm not weak like you are.
I won't let you do it.
Oh, you're going to stop me?
Yes. I'm going to stop you.
Don't come any closer.
I'm going to stop you. I had to do it. It was the only way.
You did a brave thing, Mr. Gilman.
Brave? I'm not brave. I'm really a coward. If I weren't, none of this would have had to happen. Jim, according to the clause in the agreement, the whole claim will be yours now.
That's not important now. I'll get a doctor.
No, Jim. No. Everything is working out just fine. As it is.
Will you have another cup of coffee?
No, thank you, Miss Foster. Tonto and I must be riding on.
I don't know how Ruth or I can ever possibly repay you or Tonto.
I want to again add my thanks to you both.
Well, sir, we have found ample repayment in finding new friends. Adios.
Goodbye.
That masked man and his Indian friend are a real credit to the West.
They certainly are. I'd like to know more about them.
I've heard about a man who wears a mask, rides a white stallion, and travels with an Indian named Tonto, but I never really expected to meet him. He's the Lone Ranger.
Be with the Lone Ranger and Tonto same time next week for new dangers in another thrill-packed adventure when the Lone Ranger rides again. the Lone Ranger.